Okay, good afternoon, friends. Let's start today. We are are going to continue with the topic that we people are expecting to cover for second unit test. So let's begin. As already people have discussed about the format. So today people will discuss about this 3.1, 3.2 and unit number 4 in details. Okay. So let's begin. We'll go to this. So in case of unit test, many of the students have done well, but there are some students who could not understand what exactly has been asked in chapter test 2. That some of the students have written prefixes and suffixes with one example only, but instead of just writing one example, you are expected to write down minimum 5 words. More than you can write more than 5 also. But let it be. Now you just focus and concentrate on the ISC second. So let's go through this paper of this ISC second. We'll discuss those MCQs first, and then we'll go for dialogues. So just let me know if it is audible. Is it audible for everyone and visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nice.
Sir,
Ha, yes.
Hello?
Ha.
सर काल ते सफिक्स आणि प्रिफिक्सेस बरोबर लिहून सुद्धा मार्क नव्हते आले. त्यांना
So
रॉंग
in that case, I have told you that prefixes and suffixes, they are not MCQs. First question, try to understand. If it is MCQ like this, and in case of MCQ, there is only one correct answer. For example, if you are able to see the question which is on here, the screen, first question, a dialogue is what? So you people have here 4 options, and out of those 4 options, there is going to be only one answer. So it is option B, that is going to be correct answer. But in case of prefixes and suffixes, is the case like same or different? It is totally different, because all students cannot write only same prefixes and suffixes. Okay, so in that case, everybody's answer is going to be different. So therefore, there is no a fixed answer key. And because of that, though you people have attempted that prefixes and suffixes question, and perhaps you might have written correct also, and even then it was showing that wrong, and it was showing for everyone. It is not only for you, but it is not for everyone who has done with 1 word or 5 words. It was showing for everyone it is wrong. And for that, I have told you, in fact, that when I will check this, so that time I'm going to add marks for question number 2, that is prefixes and suffixes. Whatever score you got for question first, that is synonyms and antonyms, their marks, and what I have checked and answered, you people have written. Based on that, I will check it and I will give marks. So accordingly, I have done it. So maybe your class coordinator is going to display marks to you. So you can ask your class coordinator. Okay, so that was in case of prefixes and suffixes. But now for this, we people are going to talk about this first question MCQ. So let's try to understand what a dialogue is. Even yesterday also, I have told you people what a dialogue means, and people, if you separated die and then log, if you separate like this, you'll come to know what that meaning is. So die means, what is meaning of die? It is 2.
Two.
Yes, and log means it is conversation. Okay, so whenever there is conversation between minimum two or more than two people, so that time it is called dialogue. Okay, so you people have to understand if MCQ is like this. So you people have to answer that it is conversation. So already I have just highlighted here that a dialogue is, it is not speech. Speech is one way only. In speech, only one person is in front of, maybe on the stage, and other people are as audience, and that speaker just keeps speaking. So that is speech. Motivation and presentation, these are of no any relevant options here. So correct answer is going to be here, that is conversation. Okay, so this is for MCQ number first. Then next, that is comprehension is the process of. So here also you people have to understand, we people are going to have this unit number 4, that is reading comprehension. Okay, so you need to find out meaning of comprehension. Okay, so when you read comprehension, it is understanding. Okay, so you'll come to know it is understanding, it is interpretation also. So if you are going to choose option A, it will not be correct. If you are going to option B, this is B, it is not going to be correct. Okay, so what options you people are expected to choose, where you people are having both interpretation as well as understanding also. So for this question, you people are going to choose option C, and this will be correct answer for this. Then next, number 3, question number 3. A dialogue is generally in the form of. Okay, so if you see that any dialogue, the examples, and if you have seen the notes which are given to you, you will come to know that usually dialogue is in the form of what, and here you people are having options statements. Usually it is not in the form of statements. Facial expressions, this option is irrelevant here. Questions and answers, and none of the above. So you people have to think of any dialogue. Suppose that any situation you are thinking that a bank manager and a customer who wants to open a new account. So initially you people will begin something like this. Okay, so suppose that you are going to enter this bank's cabin, and then you are going to start your dialogues with greetings. So who will tell me which greetings you people will use? Will you say hi, sir? Or you will use other greetings? Can you say hi, sir, here?
Sir,
No.
good morning, sir, or good afternoon.
Ah, yes, exactly. You cannot say hi. Hi is informal, so you cannot use it. So you people have to think of the time, any of the time which is of the day, and it can be morning, it can be afternoon. So basically afternoon, choose afternoon. Generally banks are not open in the morning up to 11 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock banks are closed. So usually the banking working hours of bank are in the afternoon. So people can just choose a good afternoon, sir, like this. Okay. So suppose that you people are going to start your dialogues, and here you people can think C as a customer, and a customer is going to say greet the manager. Good afternoon, sir. So this will be your response that you're going to start, and then it will be whose turn now? It will be your bank manager's turn. Okay. So now what bank manager will say to you if you are saying good morning to you? What bank manager will say? You people tell me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes. And then now it is whose responsibility? Now you have in the bank, so bank manager will ask, how may I help?
Help you.
Yes. So this, what is this? This is question. So our question, basic question is that dialogue is generally in the form of what? Okay. So it begin here. It is in the form of questions and answers. If this is the question, now here is customer. Okay, so what will be customer's reply? You people tell me. Customer will say, I want to open a new account in your bank. Okay, so this is just one statement now, and then you are going to add, I want to know the method, procedure, you can call, of opening a new account. Okay. Then you people are going to take bank manager's response here. So bank manager will reply, certainly, surely, yes, something like this. Okay. So here you people have to remember, everybody's thinking is different. Nobody thinks same. What I think, not all people will think in same. Other people will think differently. Their dialogues can be vary. So no two students can think same, and their answers cannot be same. Okay, certainly. So here, bank manager is going to ask you, have you brought documents? So here again, this is in the form of questions. Now it is customer's turn. So customer will ask, which documents are required? Okay, so then bank manager will explain what documents are required. So here you'll see one passport size photo, then address proof, and identity proof. Okay, so you can ask somebody like this, maybe you can say one photo, Aadhaar card, or whatever. You can write down names of documents also. So this way people are going to just continue. So again, if customer will say, yes, I have all those documents here, these are. So then bank manager will give an application form and will ask customer to fill this application form. Then customer will fill application form and he will just attach documents, something like this. This is normal situation, and I'm sure that you people might have gone to the bank and there you might have come across with this kind of situation. So you just think a real situation of opening a new account, and accordingly you people just try to develop your dialogue. So while writing, what care you people need to take? You people have to think about the punctuation marks first of all. Okay, so people have to think about the what punctuation marks, like full stop, if it is question mark, if it is maybe colons. See, colons are very important. So for example, here if you are going to begin like this, so these are colons. So you people have to write down such colons and everything which is required for writing skills. Again, you people have to think of spelling mistakes and grammar also. You shouldn't use irrelevant maybe sentences. Sometimes we don't know how to write exactly, so people have to take care of the correct tenses and sentence patterns and spellings. Okay, so all you people take care of those things and then develop your dialogue. For that you need practice. So accordingly, you just think of any situation. Two friends, they're talking, they're planning maybe to watch a movie, or they're talking about maybe how to take care of health, or they are planning about how to spend vacation, or can be different persons also, like a doctor, patient, or customer and shopkeeper, or you want to buy a new mobile, so what conversation, or you want to buy a new computer. So in that case, what probable communication you want to do with that shopkeeper. So such things you just imagine and keep writing. Okay, so that is going to help you. As I have told you many times that your oral communication is important. So with oral communication, the people have to develop your written communication as well. Many of the people, they are well versed in oral communication, but it is very difficult for them to write down. Okay, so you keep it writing also, so that it is going to help you. Okay, so I hope that you will understand how to write a paragraph here. So I will make it clear, and we'll go to the next question. That question number 3, it was, a dialogue is generally in the form of what? It will be option C,
Questions and answers.
questions and answers.
Questions and answers.
Yes, all you people are right. So don't go for statements, and none of the above option also not necessary. Then let's think of this question number 4. In a dialogue, suitable greetings are, and you people have to choose the correct option. So usually in our day-to-day life, when you go to the bank, perhaps you don't use greetings, but in a formal communication, it is required. Perhaps in our mother tongue also you come to know that usually we don't use any greetings. Okay, but in case of English, you people have to think of this. It is mandatory, it is essential, it is necessary. So for this option A is going to be correct answer. All you people think of this. You cannot say optional, you cannot say unnecessary, not expected. They are necessary. Without greetings, you cannot start your conversation in English, in formal communication. Okay, so anywhere, not only about this dialogue only, but imagine that if you are going to talk to a teacher, and if you are going to start your conversation, first of all, greet them, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per the time of the day, and then you just continue with what you people want to talk to that particular person. Okay, so greetings are necessary in all types of communication where you people are going to talk with maybe friends, or maybe with your informal situations with your boss, with your seniors, with your colleagues. Everywhere greetings are necessary. And here is the last question like this. The relationship between the participants in a dialogue can be formal or informal. So formal relationship is like something that where you people are bound with the topic, bound with language, and time and words. So you have to be very careful about this. In that case, it is formal situation. If you are going to talk to your boss, it will be formal communication. If you are going to talk to your maybe some officers, managers, etc., that will be formal communication. If you're going to talk to your teachers, principal, that will be formal communication. Okay, and in informal communication, you don't have any kind of restrictions of language or thought or words or time or topic. Here you can talk anything what you like. Okay, so that will be informal situation. When you people are talking to your friends, that is informal. When you talk to your family members, that will be informal. And and that is a reality. So this statement you have to mention whether it is true or whether it is false. So what do you think? It is true or false?
True.
True.
Yes, it will be true. So this will be just MCQs, and whatever MCQs are there in notes also, that we will discuss. Now people are going to talk about how to write some dialogues. Okay, and for that we people will go to notes of this situational conversation, how to develop a dialogue. Okay, so we'll see again in detail. A dialogue is conversation between two or more people in a variety of situations. Already we have discussed this. Minimum 2 people are required, or there can be more than 2 people, and this is a variety of situations. There can be different situations. In our day-to-day life, we come across with our family members, our friends, our neighbors, our relatives. We come across with our teachers. We come across with our maybe principal, maybe with MLA, MPs, or sometimes in workplace. You come across with your colleagues, your boss, your seniors, your juniors. There might be some peons. So these are variety of situations. And if you are in the market, in your social life, you come across with maybe grocery shop, maybe vegetable sellers. You come across with number of people. So these are variety of situations, and this is a dialogue. So dialogue writing helps the students to express their ideas and thoughts easily and constructively. So what is the purpose of this topic including here? So that you people should be able to express your ideas. Number of thoughts which are coming to your mind, usually you people might be having express them in your mother tongue. But as far as your English language is concerned, lots of ideas and thoughts come to your mind, but you don't express them. So here, with the help of dialogues, you people just try to express your thoughts and ideas which are coming to your mind. And here I would like to tell you people that many of the students, what they do generally they construct the sentences in mother tongue, and then they try to translate it. Okay, so in this process what happens, there is a lot of time is spent. So if you are thinking in your mother tongue and then you are going to translate it, and then you are going to convert it into English, so that there is a specific time is required, and then possibilities that there might be some mistakes, and so that the next person in front of you, perhaps he might have reached to next topic, next ideas, something like this. So you may lag behind in this conversation. So don't try to translate or don't try to think in mother tongue. So directly think in English. Okay? So start thinking about what you do, how you do, usually what is happening around you. Try to describe it in English. Try to think about it in English. Try to make sentences in English. This is going to help you for writing as well as speaking also. Okay, so you people try to express your ideas and your thoughts constructively, because this is the requirement of the industry. When you people are looking for job, so why you people are just learning this, all those things, the goal or objective of all those things is that all people want to get a job, we want to start our own business, or lots of goals you people might have. Maybe after 5 years, 10 years, you people are going to become entrepreneurs also. So that time you people should be in position to use this English language, because English language is a global language, and if you're not able to use this language, perhaps people will be ahead of you because of this. You may be having proper knowledge and all those things, but if you're not able to express this knowledge to other people, if you're not able to make them understand what you know, in that case, it is going to be difficult for you. So therefore, as a student, from this phase itself, you just try to express your ideas and thoughts in English and in a simple way, so that when you complete your graduation, up to that time, you will have a command over your English. Then proper dialogue writing needs skill and command over the language. And so if you want to write dialogue, effective dialogue writing, it needs skill. Skill means that you need to think from both ways. Okay, and you should have command over language. So what I mean skill, so suppose that here we people were talking of a situation where one was customer and one was bank manager. So ideally there are not two different persons. Here is only one. You are just thinking the role of bank manager, you are thinking the role of customer, and you're talking on the behalf of both of them, and you're trying to develop that dialogue. Okay, so if you have command over language, you can develop that dialogue. But if you do not have command over this English language, then you people may get stuck. Lots of difficulties perhaps you may find to develop this dialogue. Okay, so here some steps are mentioned. First of all, you people have to think of the greetings, as already people have discussed it. Beginning of the dialogue has to be with greetings. So nobody should direct start to the situation, but everybody will start his or her dialogue with greetings only. And how to greet the person according to the time of the day. If it is morning, up to 12 o'clock, you people can use good morning. After 12 to maybe 3 or 4 p.m., you people can use good afternoon. And maybe after 5 p.m., you people can use good evening. And tell me when you people are going to use good night. Tell me when to say good night. You people have to answer me.
Up to 9 p.m.
Up to 9 p.m. you can say good night. Is it so? Means from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you people can say good evening, and up to 9 o'clock or after 9 o'clock, you people are going to use good night. Is it like this? or you don't have any idea when to use good night?
When we meet, we have to say good evening, and when we leaving, we have to say good night.
Yes, exactly. If it is a winning time, so that time, if you're meeting, at the time of meeting, you cannot say good night. So as we greet with good evening, good afternoon, good morning, you cannot greet with good night. Okay. When you meet, so that time it will be good evening. And after your discussion is over and you want to take leave, you are going to leave, go to your home. So that time you people are going to say good night. Yes, you're right. So as per the time of the day, you people are going to greet. The language of dialogue will differ depending on whether the situation is formal or informal. Again, you people have to think of the situation. When you people have given situation, you just immediately just categorize it or identify whether this given situation is formal situation or the given situation is informal situation, and then you choose the greetings. So here some examples are given with known or unknown person, and if it is formal situation, you people are going to use greetings like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So this can be used in formal situations. You can use them in informal also, but usually in informal situation, the greetings which are used here like this: hi, hello. Okay. So hey also you can use hey, hi, hello. These are the greetings which are used in informal situations. Then once your greetings are over, okay, so then you people have to think of the main situation which is given for you to develop. Okay. In case of first example that we people are discussing, that dialogue between bank manager and then customer. So then we've started that the bank manager asks the customer, how may I help you? And then customer explains for what purpose he is in that bank. He wants to open a new account, and you can just extend that dialogue up to level that you want. Maybe what kind of account you want to open, whether it is saving account, whether it is maybe a current account or salary account, something like this. You can just extend and try to develop what document, what procedure, and when you'll be get that document ready for use, and when you will give passbook, checkbook, and ATM card, and maybe online banking, and lots of things are which are related with the bank. You people can ask the number of questions to the bank manager, and accordingly you are going to answer uh, throughout this medium of bank manager. Okay, so you develop this situation here. So dialogue should read like a spontaneous and real conversation. Again, another point that you people have to take care that whatever you are writing, it should not be just stretched. कसं तरी ओढून ताणून तयार केलेला dialogue. It shouldn't be. Rather than you people have to make it spontaneous, real conversation. It should sound natural. Really, जर एखाद्याने वाचलं तर असं वाटायला पाहिजे की खरंच एक ऍक्च्युअल सिच्युएशन मध्ये एक बँक मॅनेजर आणि कस्टमर दोघांमध्ये कन्व्हर्सेशन अशा पद्धतीने झालेलं असेल. That kind of writings should be there in your dialogues. Okay, so then include questions with proper question marks, exclamations with proper exclamation marks, etc., so that the dialogue sounds real. So whenever, as I told you, that here you people have to think of punctuation marks. If it is question, question marks. If it is exclamation, exclamatory mark. Whenever required, comma. If sentence is completed, full stop. If required, colon, semicolon, etc., you people have to use, so that because of that these sentences get meaning. Otherwise, you people are not going to get meaning. See here, I would like to give an example how punctuations can vary, and people will just help me in completing these sentences to punctuate. Okay. So this is sentence that you have to punctuate, and you people will tell me how should I punctuate. Tell me.
After said comma.
Comma.
Okay, so should I write as it is, the, as it is? The police said, then
Comma.
Comma.
then
Comma.
comma. Okay.
Comma.
Next,
Double inverted.
then there is double inverted comma. Okay.
The thief is
The thief is idiot.
single inverted मध्ये idiot.
It is idiot. Then single
Double inverted.
Comma complete.
Complete.
double inverted comma complete. Okay.
Full
So
stop.
full stop. So is it right now? Is this sentence okay, or is still you find that there needs some corrections?
So कॉमाच्या ऐवजी that वापरलं तर
We are not going to change it into indirect speech.
Idiot. The thief is idiot.
ओके, अजून काही सजेशन्स आहेत का? Okay, so whatever you told is like this. Okay, so if you read this sentence like this, the police said the thief is idiot. Here we are not getting any kind of meaning. If you don't take any pause or something, the police said the thief is idiot, it will be something like this and you will not understand any meaning. But whatever you suggested, the police said, then comma, and here is comma, then we are going to take pause, the police said, and then we are going to read what police said. What police said? The thief is idiot. So this way you people suggested, but actually it should be that the first letter of any sentences, it is in small or capital letter. Is it small or capital? T small or Salpachi capital?
Capital.
Capital.
Okay, so you did not realize, you did not tell me. So T is capital. Then if the sentence it is going to start in double inverted comma, it should be small or capital.
Small.
Capital.
It will be capital, not small. And see that full stop you can give inside of this double inverted comma. Okay, so when we people use double inverted comma, this indicates the words of the speaker as it is. Okay, so now people understand the complete. Who is speaking here? The police is speaking, and he's talking about whom? He's talking about the thief. What he's saying about thief? He's saying that thief is idiot. Okay, is it right? हे कळालं का सर्वांना? Did you
Yes,
get
sir.
me now? And so now I'm going to use the same words and I'm going to punctuate in another way, and you people are going to tell me the meaning of this sentence now. Okay. Now who will tell me the meaning? Is it same? The हे मधलं सेंटेन्स आहे त्यासारखं हे दोन्हीचा एकच मीनिंग येतो बघ, हे आणि लास्ट.
No.
So what is changed meaning now? Who will tell?
The thief said police is idiot.
Yes, now words are same. You can think words are same. I have not changed any of the words. Only I have changed the punctuation marks, and now meaning is totally different, totally opposite of what this earlier sentence it was saying. Now here speaker changed. Here in this case there is police is speaker in this example, and here thief is speaker. Now here police is talking about thief and thief is idiot. Now here thief is talking and saying police is idiot. So this is power of punctuation marks. So people just try to use such punctuation marks very carefully, and whenever it is required, people use full stop, comma, double inverted comma, single inverted comma, and dash, hyphen, and other punctuation marks. Okay, so take care of this while you are going to write down dialogue also. You shouldn't consider that you are writing only words. जर तुम्ही फक्त words लिहिले तर there will be no any meaning associated with these words. And if you add punctuation marks in with these words, then you are going to add extra meaning to the words. Okay, so learn how to use punctuation marks effectively. Then I will make it clear now. See, next it says use correct expressions like excuse me, sorry, thank you, please, may I know, wherever it is required. So that time you people have to use. Suppose that you are a stranger, you don't know the way to the station. So you're asking to a strange person like this, excuse me, may I know the which way goes to the station? So here you're using expressions like this, or you can use please also. Please, will you tell me which way goes to the station? Okay, something like this. And if the person tells that you can choose this way, go straight, then take a left, and you will find station there. So he has provided some information to you. So after providing information, you people can choose this expression. You can say, thank you for your information, thank you for your guidance, something like this. And if there is something that you have not done properly, you have to express, sorry, I'm extremely sorry. So try to use polite language and these words where you're going to show that polite inquiries and responses. Okay, so it depends upon you how you're going to use language. If you're going to talk arrogantly with someone, nobody's going to help you. Okay, and in professional life, in professional communication, you people shouldn't be arrogant with maybe your colleagues, maybe with your seniors and juniors. You people have to be polite, and you have to be maybe humble with other people. So accordingly, you develop such dialogue. Take care and take time also, practice also writings of these dialogues, and then you just write. And here is the last one, that is closing sentences. So when you want to just close your dialogue, how you're going to close it. So dialogue should end with proper sentences depending on whether the situation is formal or informal. Again, as in the beginning we people have discussed, where you're going to start your dialogue with greetings. If it is formal, good morning, afternoon, good evening. And if it is informal, hey, hi, hello. So similarly, if you're going to close your dialogue, so in that case also, you people have to take care that how you're going to close it. Okay, so if the situation is formal, then you're going to close your dialogue by saying good day to you, have a nice day, have a great day, thank you very much for your help, it was a pleasure talking to you. So these are some examples, expressions which you people can use for talking about closing of your formal dialogue. And if it is informal situation, you can close your dialogue by saying like see you tomorrow, bye, take care, tata, something like this. Okay, so these things you people have to consider while writing dialogue. If you have any questions for writing a dialogue, you may ask me. कोणाला काय अडचण आहे का डायलॉग रायटिंग बद्दल कळत नाहीये किंवा कसं लिहायचंय वगैरे, अजून काय कसं ऍड करायचं, यू मे आस्क. Okay, so nobody is responding. It means that either everything is clear or nothing is clear. So what should I understand?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, fine. So here I would like to suggest that की दिलेल्या situations आहेत ना, you don't refer this given. म्हणजे वाचा ते, but don't try to copy it. Rather than you can just take this situation only. Two friends regarding the schedule of final exam. Okay, this is only situation, and you can just see here how Rohit and Ria, these two friends, they're talking about. So greetings like hi Ria, hi Rahul, and then they began to develop their dialogue. Do you know when our final exam is? The exact date is not declared, but I think the final exam will be in the first week of December. When does our term end? And all those things are discussing there. So right now, don't take any help of this. You're just thinking only situation that they're talking about. Schedule of final exam, and in present scenario or in current scenario, you people will try to write down one dialogue, and with the help of all of you people will suggest me, and you people will just write it here on the screen. Okay, So this is situation for us, and we are going to develop a dialogue, and you are going to tell me. I'm just presenting it on the screen. Let's start. You people are going to suggest me. I'm going to write it down only. You people are going to tell me. How should I write? You're not able to think. You're not able to go through this situation. First of all, think of characters. Here are two friends. So you can give any two names. And if you don't remember names also, you can use your name and your friend name. And if still you're not able to find this, you can use any names also, like Chintu, Pintu, Sonu, Mono, something like this. And if not at all, you can use A and P. And then start. I don't know whether it is very difficult for you or you don't want to come here. Let it be. If you don't want to come or don't want to discuss here, it's fine. We'll go to the next then. Yes, somebody sent me. Okay, so Sunil, actually, in fact, instead of unmuting and talking, he has sent me how we can begin. So maybe if it is first friend, he is going to say hi. So better use names hi Rohit, hi Ramesh, hi Rajesh, hi Soni, Moni, something like this. Okay, so he's saying hi, and instead of saying hi A, you can say hi Ajit, something like this. So he's going to say hi Balaji, B for Balaji, let's consider. And after Balaji, I'm going to use exclamatory mark because this is hi. So hi, we don't say only hi Balaji, we say hi Balaji. So while talking, we use some feelings and emotions with it. So if I'm just mentioning not something like this, I'm just saying hi Balaji, it will be just hi Balaji. But it is not just hi Balaji, it is hi Balaji. So something like this, you have to just use it. And if I want to show this that hi Balaji, so for that I am going to use this exclamatory mark here. Okay, so hi, yes, different responses now came. Now Soral is saying hi, you seems to be tense towards the matter. Okay, something like this. Nothing much, just thinking about the final exams. Yeah, all right, you can begin like this. So you have lots of different ideas. As I told you that everybody thinks differently. So because of this also perhaps not we people are able to continue with write down, because what I'm going to write or what somebody is going to tell me may not be the same what other person is thinking. And as Sorali just mentioned, that can be a good beginning, and this way you people try to develop your dialogue better. We people will not just continue with this because everybody's thinking is not same here. Let it be. So with this, I think that better we'll think of next part after dialogue writing. So you people will have 3 situations given, and out of these 3 situations you are going to write out any 2 dialogues, and each dialogues will be for 10 marks. If you are going to give greetings, For that, there will be marks. If you are developing dialogue, that will be different marks. And if you are going to close it, that will have different mark. So this way, marks will be divided. So 5 marks will be divided something like this. 1 marks for grading, 1 mark for closing, and 3 marks for this content, body, grammar, words, spelling mistakes, etc. Something like this. And then we'll talk maybe in next lecture, perhaps people will talk about reading comprehension and its tips, strategies, and some practice, more practice people will do. Okay, so right now I will just confirm absent numbers and we'll stop here today. So let me know how many students are present for today's lecture. Very few students are present for today's class. So roll number 1 absent.
Yes, sir. Roll number 1.
1 is present. Okay. Then roll number 5, roll number 6, roll number 12, 13, 21, roll number 22, 23, 25.
Yes, sir.
23 is there. 29, 33, 34, 45,
33 present.
33 present. Okay. 50, 53, 61, 62, 64, 66, 67, 71. These are absent numbers. Once again confirm. Roll number 5, 6, then roll number 12, 13, then roll number 21, 22, 25, 29, 34, 45, 50, 53, 61, 62, 64, 66, 67, 71. Okay, all right. So with this, we people are going to stop here. We are going to close here. And if you have any questions, doubts, queries, perhaps you may just ask me. And that time, we people will make it clear, perhaps in next class also. So I will end this meeting for everyone. Thank you for joining today.